Hey guys, today I'll be teaching lead code number 3, longest substring. It is a medium question on lead code. I've written out the first example here. So all we're supposed to do is return the length of a substring such that every character in that substring is essentially unique, so it can't be repeated, right? So in this, if you look at it, ABC, ABC, CBB would not qualify for that, or BB would not qualify for that. Anything with like consecutive A, anything with consecutive B, anything with consecutive C would not qualify. And as I was drawing it out actually. As I was drawing out the thing, it actually hints to the approach that I would take for this question. The best approach for this kind of questions where we have to figure out substrings, subarrays, figure out the length of them, is sliding window. I made a question about this. It was one of the first few videos I've made. So if you click to oldest, you'll probably see it. But it is essentially the sliding window pattern. And why? Because what we'll do is we'll sit on A, then we'll expand ourselves to B, we'll expand ourselves to C. And then when we see A, we will store ABC. Since it's already come so far, we'll say 3. And when we see A, we will essentially change the window. So we will remove this A and now we will consider BCA. It also gives us the same 3, right? And we'll see B comes after that. So we'll remove the B here. And then we'll see CAB, right? And then we'll see ABC again. So on and so forth, right? So the best way to do it, sliding window. Now what I've explained in my sliding window question in a sliding window video in a nutshell is we just have to consider case when window is invalid. So what the substring that we're sitting on, when is it valid, when is it not valid? So case when window is invalid and case when window is valid. And since this is not a fixed size sliding window, our low and high can be variable length essentially. I'll say low is equals to 0, rs is equals to 0, both of them equals to 0. Now the way we actually see whether like the character is in our scene, let's say, we would have a hash map of it, right? And you could have a hash map or you could have a set. Honestly, either one's fine. I just want hash map to be a bit easier to think about, but essentially all we have to do is we will store our frequency, so A1s, B1s, C1s, sorry. And whenever we hop on to the next character, right? Let's say we went back to the A here and we saw that, okay, but A was in our hash map, was it not? So it was in our hash map. And now that we've seen it again, what does it mean? Well, that its frequency is now 2, right? And in this scenario, when it does hit 2, it becomes, well, invalid, like I said. So what did we do when it was invalid? We cut off the end and we went right? We cut off the end and we essentially moved a pointer ahead, okay? So that's what we'll essentially be doing for this question. So if you have seen, and let's do a for loop, a while loop, either one's fine. If you have a while loop, then set high to 0, right? So the next thing, okay, if we see, well, you would have to look at this video first, but if you know a little bit of sliding window, what we will do right now is we will hire essentially. So we will make our substring by hiring stuff, and we hire using our high always. So there's 2 ways to go about it. So scene S high is equals to 1. Now there's a reason why I've written it down here, because in this sliding window question it's a bit different. Usually you would do your hire, then you would check your window, and then you would fire, and then you would confirm your window is correct and then do your calculation, right? But in this one the order is a bit turned around. In this one you would have to check your condition first. So if S high is seen, like I said, we've seen it twice now, that means then obviously we want to delete A's entry from the hash map immediately, and we'll initialize a new one later. But before that we will also move our left pointer. So if you think of the string A, B, C, A, B, we'll just do this, a smaller example. We were sitting at A, B, C, right? And then we saw A. Okay, we saw A. Our low was sitting at here for now, but we saw A now. And what did we do with this A? We removed it. So well, our low is now pointing to nothing, right? So we have to increment our low to now point to a valid value. So that's why we increment the low. It's the firing spot, and then you would check your windows. So now we check our window, seen as high equals to 1. What is our length? So our length is high minus low plus 1. Result is just the maximum between our length right now and result, and simply at the end just return your result. That's it. So same thing, hiring and firing. Check out the sliding window video if you still didn't understand it. That one I go through the template itself of approaching these questions. I've explained a lot more.